Hi everyone. I know nobody is here yet. We're just waiting for Simon to finish. I just wanted to check if everything works here for me. So I'm going to delete that beginning, but can I make it big? I hope you can hear me. Oh, hi, Tarot student. We're just waiting for Simon to finish off. He's talking about Pixie. Very interesting talk. I listened to half of it, but then I have to go and kind of chill out before my own talk. So I will rewatch it later on. So let's wait till Simon finishes. He finishes at 11 UK time or 12 Central European time. Hi, Melanie. Yeah, thanks. I just thought I'm going to come up just in case something wasn't working. Or you can see me well, Mel? Do I need to put more light on or something? I know I look a bit skew. Oh, a lot of American people are sleeping, right? You can see me and hear me well. Good. I'm just going to be sitting here and looking at you, 6 people. Hi, Michelle. Yeah, leopard print, Mel, for you. And I have snakes, black rose, pearls, red nails. Cool. Thank you. So I'm going to be talking about intuition, but I'll just wait for Simon to finish and for everyone to get over. Whoever wants to join, I will start at just like a minute or two after 11. Yeah. Hi, Deidre. I actually am just waiting. This is, okay, I think, is Simon finished yet? He still has a minute. Yeah, Intuitive Tarot. Yeah, Simon's intro on Pixie was really cool. I watched most of it too. Okay, Mel, thanks. Here we come. Okay, hi everyone. I'm just going to wait for people to join in and we're going to start. I hope I have some moderators, which should be people from last Taroton. And we are going to be talking about intuition today. So I hope you can hear me. I hope the vision and the sound is okay. That got confirmed. And yeah, hi everyone. I was thinking of doing a presentation and, using StreamYard, but I thought like, can't be bothered with this 10-second delay when you do live. It's just so annoying. It may be okay when you have just presentation to do and share with people, but when you're on live and you want to, be kind of part of this chat and kind of have a little bit of interaction, it actually really is annoying to use StreamYard with the 10-second delay. Hi everyone, it's lovely to see you here. I thought I'm going to have 5 people because a lot of my audience is from the US, so I thought a lot of US people are sleeping right now. But it's great to see you here. And so I think I'm going to start because it is 11 p.m. and that's my slot, right? So thank you very much, first of all, to Simon and to the crew. I know that there was a lot of help also for organizing Taroton 3rd year in a row. That's pretty impressive. And I think, we're going to be going and growing and sharing tarot love. And there's so many interesting channels that joined in this year as well, and people who were continuing for this 3 years. So it's really, I think, quite a cool achievement. So a big, applause to all of us for making it happen, and especially to Simon and to the crew, like for organizing it and birthing the idea, first of all. And this year at Taroton, I'm going to be talking about intuitive reading, intuitive tarot reading. And I titled it Intuitive Tarot Reader B1. And I thought, maybe I do some meditations and stuff, but it's like 12 where I am, 11 at UK. Hi, Simon. Your presentation was lovely. I watched most of it, but then just pissed off at the end because I had to prepare and just quieten down a little bit. So yeah, I thought of doing a presentation with meditations and stuff, but then you know what? I thought it's rainy. This is my weather. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to fall asleep. Seriously, if I'm going to do a meditation, I can't do it. So intuitive tarot reading, no meditation. We're just going to be playing and having some fun. I prepared some prompts and and we're going to just maybe practice some reading, some card reading. I do want to do a short introduction. For technicalities, I have some moderators here. So if I don't see important questions or something, please, my moderators, help me out here. And maybe if you have, guys, some life-threatening questions, just do capital letters. Other than that, there will be some interaction, which I prepared. So I would love you to be interactive and just write in comments, and we'll see how much fun we can generate. I wish you could speak so we can have, a little bit more interactive voice reading, but it's not the medium for it, right? So please use your comment and use your voice through the comments. So intuition and intuitive tarot reading, it's an interesting topic. Recently, I saw Benable Wen did a video on intuitive reading as well. And I have to say I agree a lot. But let's just start with saying that everything you can imagine is real. That's the saying by Pablo Picasso. And, if we go like deep philosophical, it's really interesting that, who knows, we can have a theory that we actually imagine our reality. There might be like million realities, and each of us has, lives in a different one, basically, and we share certain points when we cross over, like this YouTube chat, let's say. So when we think of intuition, what intuition is, when I went to, the dictionary of English dictionary, it said it's the ability to understand something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning. And notice how often we chop our intuitive hits by questioning mind, and suddenly the doubt starts crawling in. You have a hit, you think like, oh yeah, I felt something, I heard something, or there was an intuitive hit, and our mind is going, yeah, but that's really impossible, and no, why would you turn right now when the sign says left, and so on. So our conscious mind jumps straight after and starts reasoning, because we have a reasoning mind, so that's lovely, and we want to use both. But when it comes to using intuition, we often override it by our mind. So I found this beautiful quotation, which I wanted to share with you as well. And it says, intuition is a spiritual faculty and does not explain, but simply points the way. And I loved it, because it's like, intuition doesn't really say to you, on Tuesday, 2 p.m., stand in the queue behind the third person and you're going to get whatever. So your intuition usually speaks in symbols, in images, in like this very subtle messages, and through various clairs that we all have, So imagination versus intuition. Imagination is also very important, because to me, imagination is the gateway to intuitive reading of cards. So as Picasso said, everything you can imagine is real. We use our imagination to communicate with our intuition, and also our intuition often will speak to us through our imagination, through our possibility, our ability to imagine things. And when we think of imagination, the definition was the ability to produce new idea, new objects, or people in the mind without any immediate input of senses. So the ability of our mind to be creative and to be resourceful. And I think this is really amazing. And often as children, we have this amazing imaginative ability, and we got shut down often. That's just imaginary friends, and you don't see fairies, and you don't speak to to things and so on. So often we shut it down, and as adults we're afraid or ashamed to use our imagination, because you're just imagining things as if it was something bad or something like, just don't do it. You just imagine it. But imagine that if you, in general, imagine your life or imagine your reality, use your imagination and bloody hell, imagine away when you read cards. And this is really something that I would love to be playful with. It's not a serious matter. So there's another quotation that I will share: logic will get you from A to Z, and it's wonderful. Imagination will take you everywhere, and that's assigned to Einstein. So okay, some questions. Yvette Soto: hi Kasia, can you intermingle both reading the book and your intuition while you are interpreting the symbols in your tarot deck? Yes, and that's exactly the point of my talk today, because if you use tarot, know tarot, learn tarot. If you just want to use tarot for intuitive, meaning imaginary kind of hint readings, you can, of course, people still do. I don't have a problem with it, but in my opinion, tarot is an amazing system. Like, you want to use tarot, learn tarot, and overcome the limitations of the system. And I will be talking about it just in a sec, Yvette, but thank you for the question. If there's anything else for now, thanks, Mel, for this. So imagination as a gateway to intuition, and imagination as a way to be creative, to be playful, to invent new meanings on top of old meanings. But as tarot is a system, we have a structure, we have a limitation, which is actually helpful for us to kind of stay on track. It's like the spine is holding our body in shape. The tarot system holds and is a great map to help us navigate the images, the symbols, which can be like, incredible multitude of them. And we will practice it in a second. So the clairs, how do you experience your intuition the most? And here I would love you, yes, just imagination, mega important. And I know, guys, that a lot of you think probably in a similar way. And yeah, exactly. I would love you to write down in the comments now, what is your preferable clair? For people who don't know what clairs are, these are like ways or our ability to experience intuition. So there is clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. So you see images. There is clairaudience, which is clear hearing. Often you can hear words, you can hear sentences or sounds, like running water or whatever. Clairaudience, which is, clairvoyance, clear seeing, clairaudience, clear hearing. Clairsentience, which is clear sensing. So you feel sensations in your body, or you feel things, like cold, rush. There is also clairalience or aliens, which is clear smelling. Sometimes people smell things. That's also part of the intuition talking to us. And there's clairgustance, which is clear tasting. So you can taste things in your mouth. And claircognizance, which is the sixth sense, which is clear knowing, just kind of all together. So what senses are we having? Clairaudience, clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance, and sentience. Audience, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. Yeah, so these ones are quite main ones, I think. The clairvoyance, which is the seeing, clairaudience, which is the hearing, and clairsentience, which is the sensing. The smelling and tasting, I think it hits us from time to time. And the clair knowing, also it's like this intuitive knowing in your gut. Quite a few people, artistry who wrote Claire. I lost it now. It's gone. The chat is moving quickly, but that's really cool. Thank you for sharing, guys. And we all have all of the senses. So sometimes you can see things, and sometimes you can smell things, and sometimes you can taste things. But we do have one kind of or two main channels that we usually feel the most connected to. So for me, it's usually clairaudience, but sometimes also clairsentience or clairvoyance. Sometimes I smell, roses. So that's really interesting as well. And the clairs, you can check with yourself which clair that can change over your lifetime as well. Sometimes you're more sensitive towards feeling or seeing or hearing, so it's not that we're bound to have just one. And you can also develop all of those senses, which is interesting. So for most of people, the favorite intuitive channel varies between the clairsentience, clairaudience, and clairvoyance, which are the three main channels. So now I would like us to play, okay? And let's share our first impression. So when we have intuitive reading, first of all, we're going to do the kind of oracle card. So no tarot structure. We get to tarot next. But I want you to just focus, take 3 deep breaths. I know we're like in the middle of Taroton, actually at the beginning of Taroton, so we're all excited. But let's take a few deep breaths, and I will show you a card, which I printed out, so it's medium quality, but I hope you will see it. So first impression, what you notice, what jumps into your mind before your thinking mind starts, kind of attacking you. And we will practice our intuitive muscles. There's no wrong answers. What is the question here is, what do you notice first? And this is the card. So I would like you to just take a look. I hope you see it like I'm seeing it. Can you see it okay, guys? Can somebody confirm it, please? So we know that we can do this exercise without. Cool. We have some, so peace, bird, heart chakra, Celtic, eagle, lotus, blue, bird, the heart chakra, Celtic knot, grounded, peace, eagle, light, space, air, openness, very clear, balance. I'm very clear, thank you. Elevation, peace, lotus, the rainbow, heart chakra, black cloud, peace, feathers, heart. Cool. So you can see that we have some repetition, right? A lot of us will be focusing on the Celtic knot, a lot of us on the eagle, a lot of us on heart chakra, lotus, and so on. So these are the symbols that you can distinguish on the image. Thanks so much for sharing. That's awesome that you guys want to play. So now, this was your first impression. Now I would like you to write down quickly for yourself, what does it mean to you? Because intuitive reading, that's what I want to also make kind of a point of. You don't want to go to a tarot reader or to a reader and they're going to go ego and heart chakra and the Celtic knot is coming for you. Like, what the fuck does it mean? What does it mean to you? So please now, after getting your symbol and what you had noticed first, write down one sentence very quickly without too much thinking. What can you associate it with in your life, in your situation right now? What is it? What does it mean to you? So in a way, you're interpreting the message that you got. So if I can just have like a few shares, like if somebody saw heart chakra, like what does it mean? Masha said, musing by Masha said, for me, it's all about action, embody what you see. Cool. Something dark is coming from Helena. Try to undo. It's too quick. Open portal to heart and soul. Accomplishment. Spiritual balance. Seek the rest. Yeah, that's cool too. The inner world is a reflection. Oh, it's gone. I can read so quickly, guys. But you can check, yeah, you can see all the answers that are coming. And what I wanted to also see, look how many various aspects, depending on who is writing, what mood are you in today, what your intuition kind of pointed you to, how many amazing answers do we have? Take time to truly be yourself. God's blessing, growth journey, rainbow and lotus, hope brings a sense of inner peace at this time, knowing there's a sense of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Beautiful. So all these images that came just from the initial, what are you drawn to in the image, and then what does this image actually represent for you? So it's not just on this kind of psychic level that doesn't really often translate to your reality, to your life. And I want to use cards to, be meaningful for me in my life right now. So this, what you got, what you wrote, this is a message, intuitive message right there for you, for right now. If I showed you this image tomorrow, you might got a totally different, got drawn to totally different symbol. But for now, this was like your personal, pure, quick, tiniest tarot reading for you personally. So this is an intuitive message for everybody. So now remember, because this is important in intuitive readings, and we're not even touched on tarot yet, when you use your intuition, when you use your imagination, make sure you later on translate this image or interpret this image in a sense that it makes some practical sense for you in your life. So it doesn't just stay the eagle flies high. I mean, it's nice image. You can also, of course, feel this, but the eagle flies high, which means to me right now, maybe I should broaden my horizons. Maybe I should look out for more opportunities. Maybe I should, lift up my spirit and so on. So this is really important to bring forth when you're using cards in intuitive readings, especially when you read for other people. So you kind of make sense of the image and of the symbol and of your intuition. So you make it as specific as it gets. And usually you have a question to narrow your intuition. So if we had a question about, I don't know, let's say about, will I find love tomorrow? And we got this image. It might be, like, lift up you have to look for broader opportunities, focus on your heart chakra, right? Look to the east or to above, use your language through the air element, and so on and so forth. So I hope you get me what I mean here, and I know you also probably know these things, but I think it's fun to play like this all together. Did I miss anything important? Yeah, the struggle. What's the struggle? Oh no, I missed it. Anyway, what I wanted also to make a point of is that it might be a struggle to use your intuition in the beginning, especially with tarot, because there's tarot meanings and there's your intuition, and your intuition might point to something different, and tarot meaning says something different, like, what am I going to do now? Woo, I go with tarot meaning, right? But we will get to the tarot. So let's just focus on the last, the exercise 2. It's going to be the same idea. So again, I will show you one card which has like a multitude of things. And every person will be drawn to something else, right? And all impressions are valid. So your intuition will prompt you to notice something first. So before you start thinking, just write down one thing you see first. And then write down straight away after that, what does it mean to you right now for this moment? So here we have this card. It says full spectrum. So I would like to get some shares from you guys, like, what do you see first? Where did your intuition go? Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Whoa, we have a happy crowd here. Pocket. Oh, that's interesting. Outside of the card. Cool, outside of the box. Sun, rainbow, tears. Exactly, rainbow. Rainbow, happiness, rainbow, cycle, cool, sun, rainbow, seasons, rainbow, look how many rainbows we got. Sunshine after rain, shine bright, sun, cool. And what would this rainbow mean? So if we just take, let's say, one image of the rainbow, now even if you saw something different, let's focus for a while on this rainbow. What would the symbol of a rainbow mean to us today? Like, what would it mean? How can we make it specific? What does rainbow symbolize to you today in a reading? If you wanted to share it with someone, what would the rainbow mean? Rainbow for NHS, cool. Hope, sun after rain, hope, blessings, strength, because it's strong, yeah. Hope, good fortune, happiness, hope, I don't know why the LGBT got hidden. YouTube is hiding LGBT. To me, yes, rainbow, totally LGBT. Your Anna Pruvolovich, your comment got kind of, I got the message, hide or show. So yes, show. New beginning, strong, bold, inclusiveness, yes, beautifully. Wishful thinking in the clouds around the rainbow. That's two. Chat keeps stopping working for me because maybe we're crazy, we're going too fast. Promise after difficulties. YouTube keeps hiding lots today. Oh, okay, I didn't know. LGBT, it's very dangerous, guys. Be careful. Why would they hide that? Connection, bridging emotions. That's nice. Guidance to the right path. Beautiful. Connection between spirit and earth. Happiness complete cycles. Beautiful. So that's how you can also practice the, like just reading and playing with the image. And notice that if you play with cards, even with tarot cards, and you play with images like this and with symbols, you will see that every day you can be drawn and a card can mean a little bit different something to you, depending on the mood, on the question, on what, I like this as well for the whole thing, totality of experience, yeah. Depending all the things. So let's move to this thing about intuitive versus traditional meaning with tarot, because I noticed, and now a little bit self-promotion, because I'm also, I'm well prepared. So I'm doing also an intuitive tarot reading workshop. It's going to be live on Zoom, and it's going to be 2 consecutive Sundays, 7th of June and 14th of June. And I want to practice a lot of reading and practice and teach people how to not get scared, because I noticed on myself, and I noticed on many people that I've worked with, and on many people from tarot community, that there is this in unease on how to use traditional tarot meanings and how to use my intuition, and how can I connect the two, and it's just somehow going weird, So first of all, I would like to really make a vote for, again, if you use tarot, learn tarot system. It might seem limiting, it might seem like, I don't want to do it because I can read intuitively, I can read images. But tarot system helps a lot in intuitive readings. And how I kind of go about it is that intuition actually adds to the traditional meanings of the cards and opens a new avenue to how you see and understand the cards. It also gives you the sense of intuition, gives you the freshness. I get bored. No, Intuitive Tarot Workshop is not free, Yvette. It's actually cost $50. And it is for 4 hours live Zoom with moi. And we're going to have a small group. It's only open to 15 people. So only 15 people, like 2 places are taken. So only 13 more people can sign up, because I want to have small group and I want people to practice a lot. So it also will be recorded. So if somebody has issue with it, you do not sign up for this tarot workshop. But that's 15 people, small intimate group, and we're going to be practicing. The information is on my website on tarotmap.com, so I'm not going to waste any more time on this, but you can guys check it out. And if you like my style, because obviously every tarot reader has a different style, if you like my style, if you like what I do, you can sign up and we can have fun together and practice tarot. But yeah, intuition adds to the traditional tarot meaning, and it really opens a new avenue. And as I was saying, I usually am bored, if I was to use kind of the same deck and the same, like, learn the tarot meanings and just stick to this tarot meaning and just use it over and over again, I think I would bloody die out of boredom. So intuitive reading really takes your readings to another level. And I learned it through actually learning Tarot de Marseille with Enrique Enriquez, because his approach was like fucking break with the system and do rearrange it. You still have a system, but you rearrange it, you change it, you see images in the cups, in the minor arcana of Tarot de Marseille. It really changed my way of how I see tarot and how I call it now, use the right seeing, like right hemisphere, which is more intuitive, use the right seeing, So the traditional tarot meanings help to give us limitations, and they help us to keep the structure. So like the spine, as I said, holds the body and the bones in order. Also, the tarot structure helps us to understand the meanings and bring them to life, make them practical. And also, when you add the right seeing, your intuition, you take the readings also to another level. So know tarot system and then transform its limitations. Play with the system rather than resent the system, and create your own escape exits, have fun creating tarot maps and your own reading style within the system, which you can transform when you know it. I think the worst thing you can do when it comes to tarot in general is to reject the system. System is amazing, but this only the system, and the system evolves with our consciousness, with how we evolve. So we have the right to evolve the system further, but use the core meanings, use the tarot, which was evolving over hundreds of years, to our benefit and to help us, to guide us. It's like having an ancestor, that we're working with. So this is important, for me especially, and this is the message that I would like to put out. If you just want to do a psychic reading and look at Seven of Swords, or look at, and you just kind of go with, I know, I can see Tuesday here, and that's fine. You can, of course, do it. And I know readers that don't know tarot and use tarot because they use the images as the prompts for their own intuition. But to me, it's like, tarot helps so much. Tarot is so amazing, and it's just such a beautiful system to know, but then play with the system, because sometimes we get stuck with the system. Sometimes we can't cross over, and this imagination, intuition exercises like this really help us to cross over. Yeah, so somebody says, anyone else have the cards and knows the meaning of them, but the intuition is when putting them together. That's true, yes, of course. Kasia, do you think that how people read the tarot is very telling about? I agree, yes, Kasia. People have different styles because they have different interests, different personalities. Some people will love traditional readings and, be peaceful about them and happy with one deck. And I always admire this, so you have to find your own reading style. And I think practicing this intuition, being playful, being creative, this is how you actually find your style. Yvette says that she has a little trouble interpreting some images in the TOF system. Rider-Waite-Smith is easier. Yeah, Rider-Waite-Smith is very well known. It's probably less kind of esoteric as well. Maybe Arthur White would be annoyed with me saying so, but that's how it looks, at least, because the images maybe hide a lot of esoteric meanings, but to the beginner's eye, that they're quite, simple. Yeah, okay, so guys, exercise 3. Example of 7 cups. So I just picked, from Google 3 images. I picked the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. So if you know the system, you know that 7 of Cups can speak of choices. Sevens usually speak about decisions and kind of deciding, adjusting. So here we have this person looking at those cups filled with everything in the clouds. The cups are in the clouds. The person is turned to them, but with it, they back to us, and they look like they're trying to choose, what should I choose would be probably the question for the Seven of Cups. And here we have the modern renditions of Seven of Cups. So there is something, a tattoo artist making a tattoo, and there is two witches, in the shop. So now the first question would be, what do you see? And again, if you know what the Seven of Cups kind of is about, right? It's about choices, it's about creative thinking as well, because maybe he's not choosing, maybe he's going, I can do this, 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 and this. Maybe he's having a creative conversation in his head. Then we know as our basis, what this Seven of Cups is about. And we can translate or add the meaning to these two more modern cards. And then adding to the traditional meaning, we can go, okay, if this is about creative thinking, maybe this also be about creating art, making creative art, or making a decision what tattoo I'm going to put on my face, or on my back. Maybe this is about using my creative ability, my visionary skills, my artistic abilities to make art. Maybe it's about helping somebody, having somebody to helping me choose what I need right now. So there's so many opportunities, but what are the differences between the cards is the art, and it's how an artist sees, imagines Seven of Cups. And how does the image influence the meaning? You can, guys, think about it, and I read the questions. Which point do you recommend to learn the system? I recommend to learn the system, I think, from the beginning. I don't know. I'm fairly, I'm a liberal, and I'm totally like, yeah, go and be crazy. But I'm fairly traditional when it comes to tarot. I cannot probably imagine myself using tarot without knowing tarot. So I learned from the beginning. I went for courses, I signed up, I read, I practiced, so this is probably something, if you're passionate about. I know that a lot of people use tarot firstly intuitive, and then they learn the system. Probably you have to find out for yourself. And question from Sine, I don't know how to pronounce that. At which point, that's the same question. Oh, okay. So yeah, tarot system is deep, and I think this is the beauty and blessing of it, because I've been professionally reading since 2014, and it just never gets boring. It's like astrology, you forever a student of tarot, because tarot is like life. You forever student of life. So here we have, how does the context also influence the meaning? So often when we ask a question, as I said, it limits our understanding. So we have here this 3 7 of Cups, and as you can see, they kind of based on the traditional meaning, but they veered off with their own interpretation of that card. But if you know the meaning of this card, it's so much easier to use this meaning and add on top of it the layer that the artist creatively expressed. So somebody, Yvette, said here, the first pick, creative vision, yes. Second pick, making choices for the best thing he needs right now in his life. Third pick, picking the best vessel to use in her craft. Yeah, exactly. So then we can add the layers. That's why it's also awesome that we have so many decks, because we can, if you know the tarot, you can basically read any deck, right? Because if you know the system, you can help yourself out with the craziest decks. And this is a great practice to compare decks, to compare for example, lots of 7 of Swords or 7 of Cups, or so on and so forth, so that you can see what the differences are, how different people see this image from different perspectives. That really broadens your understanding of tarot, and that broadens really your understanding of reading. And as I said, the really reading of cards is important when you have when you know what you're doing. So do you have a question? When you read intuitively, you really want to make sure you're answering that question, right? So if somebody asks you about work, you're not going to be talking go and have a tattoo. You have to kind of pick this image, if you're using just this image, and make it work for work issue. That's why I said, like, use your imagination, use your intuition, but be specific and listen to what your question is or your context is, because it will narrow your meaning. But right now we're going to do an exercise about free flow reading. These are fun. There's no question. You can use your imagination the way you want. You can, create crazy stories. And I'm going to show you an image. Sorry, just few drops of water. So I'm going to show you an image, and this is going to be practice of the free flow, okay? So a first image will be from Way Home Tarot by Barbara Wintner and Autumn Whitehurst. And these are the 3 cards. So first of all, I would like you to make a little 1 or 2 words impressions of the Ace of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and 4 of Wands. So firstly, you would you will focus on one singular card and go, okay, Ace of Cups to me means, I don't know, new love or spiritual awakening or blah, blah, blah. And here again, no wrong answers, guys. You can just go crazy. But within tarot system, please, if you know tarot, but also within your intuitive hits right now, what can it mean? And I'm going to give you a few examples soon, but beginning, the end of challenges, the Ace of Cups, focus, the light, inspiration, cool. So you guys doing the 3, yeah, perfect. Moving a new lovely place, perfect. What else do we have? Emotional beginning, legacy, celebration, perfect. So if we want to make a story out of these 3 cards, what sentence or what 2 sentences could we go for? We have Ace of Cups, we have 10 of Pentacles, and we have 4 of Wands. Lady Bird said, a new relationship to be celebrated that will be forged in fire. So it's strong. I love that. See, and this is intuitive use of tarot, because yes, in 4 of Wands, we usually have some form of fire or the garlands or whatever, but she used the image. You use what you see on the image, but you go further. You help, the tarot system helps you to use the image in some limits, celebration of love and abundance, beginning, tears, burdens, and celebration. Oh, that's beautiful too. Celebrate new connections, gorgeous. You guys, good. What is the middle card again? It's 10 of Pentacles. It's like a set table for 10 people. New beginning emotionally, fulfillment, completion. Ace of Cups is the beginning of new emotions, then celebration of legacy, celebration of marriage, cool. Abundance, fired up creative ideas. Take a new approach to ground yourself spiritually, learning towards full creative happiness. Connection with emotions will allow you to reach accomplishment. So let's celebrate it. That's cool. Following an emotional breakthrough, socializing, family time, become fun, not fearful. Very good. So you see, everyone starts adding a little bit more of the personalized kind of understanding. So if we wanted to make a crazy story out of these 3 cards, we have Ace of Cups, we have 10 of Pentacles, and we have 4 of Wands. So I start, they met, they married, and they lived happily ever after. That's my story. Big wedding party with a big family. Perfect Bohemian Spirit Tarot. What else do we have? From the emotional drop in the ocean, we build something stable that burns a steady flame. Oh, that's poetic. That's good, Kasia. relationship going to the next level. That's really cool too. Simple. Anyone else has an idea maybe about, I don't know, maybe it's not a relationship, maybe it's something else. Celebration of family unit, keep the home fires burning, beautiful. New beginnings with financial gift offering, choices of pleasure, but not without passion, embrace the passion. Oh yeah, with the fire. I feel it's time to abandon my material world for being able to live a passion. That's cool, Vincent, too, yeah. Like a new beginning. And goodbye, 10 of Pentacles. They met. Yeah, exactly. Lady Bird, I said like they met, they married, and they lived happily ever after. Sipping from the cup of life brings community and bright heart fires. Oh, Jonathan, that's cool. That we would need that now for the US and what's happening there. I just wanted to acknowledge it. It's so fucked up. I mean, for the Black guys there, it's just unbelievable. And I think, like, you know, rage is probably a healthy expression of grief at some point. Nothing changes with, I don't know, but I'm just holding the fist here for you guys there. Celebrating your creative spirit. Oh, that's beautiful too. Allowing the drops of happiness to penetrate your heart, being stable in a home and enjoying each other's souls, enjoying twin energy. Yeah, I felt the tears were shown for the inheritance received with creative passion. Oh, I would cry for some 10 of Pentacles inheritance, cry out of joy. Yeah, Simon, right? It's kind of like, I lack words, really. And I don't know, in Poland, it's not even such a big news, but I have a lot of friends in the States, and when I see what's happening there, it's really full on. Yeah, Christina, happening in your city. I know. For somehow this has to change, and I don't know. I think people just don't know how to change it anymore, rather than rebellion. And I know that violence never brings anything probably positive, but I don't know what other ways there is to fucking break the system of repression and racism. I seriously don't know. Anyway, exercise 5. So this was exercise without question. We went for free flow, open reading, kind of without context, right? We didn't limit ourselves with context. We only had a little bit of a limit within the tarot system. So for those who know tarot system, can create better stories with the cards. And now we have the last exercise. This is exercise 5 with Light Seers Tarot. And now we have a question, okay? So now I would like you to look at the cards, get the impression, and we have a question to narrow our imagination. We won't be going all of the directions. Now we're going to be just speaking about love and how can I meet a loving partner? So how can I meet? So what can I do? Or like, what is my story? What's happening to me? How can I meet a loving partner? And the first card is the Hangman. Then we have the Sun. And then we have Knight of Swords. So I would like you to give me an idea maybe of which image maybe also. First of all, maybe let's connect this card. So what, if this was a question to you, what can you do to, first of all, meet a loving partner? And if we go a little bit more into divination, is it likely to happen when you look at these cards? What's happening here? Yeah, so I'm going to go with this, what I wrote for myself. So how can I meet a new, love partner? First of all, I see the Hangman. So I think do not rush, right? Just hang in there, because things will be shifting, and actually maybe your loving partner will be coming to you, because there's somebody running in the third card, right? And especially when you open up and show up in your whole glory and shine bright. So what do we have? Waiting for better time and embracing it. Exactly, Christina. Be willing to change. Or the soul shadow tarot said also, from a very slow situation to a hyperactive one. Exactly, perfect. Be willing to change your perspective, embrace this modern era, and be open to connecting with someone online. Oh, that's perfect. See, this is a perfect intuitive hit for the Knight of Swords. Swords being air element, connection, especially now when it's difficult sometimes to go out. It happens quickly usually. You don't go for 700 times to the cafe. Like when you meet someone, you like exchange is happening. What else do we have? Be willing to change your perspective, embrace this modern era, and be open to connecting with someone online. So we read it from Chris. That's awesome. Time to let go and embrace the sun. This is escaping me, this feed. I lost it, guys. Changing your perspective, being more open to opportunity in meeting someone new. Change how you are approaching someone. Be yourself and go for it. There will be someone you are running to you. Exactly. Long wait and being suspended, then connection to your own soul and happiness, and finally quick action towards your goal fulfillment in order to receive fullness. So it's interesting because we can see this Knight of Swords as somebody from outside, because often court cards symbolize people who are outside of us, but I very often read court cards like what I read from Kasia here, that is also a part of yourself that you're developing. So maybe you were, hanging at home all the time in front of Netflix, dreaming of a beautiful love, but then suddenly the sun shone, you put nice dress on or whatever outfit on, you connected to something beautiful within yourself. You show yourself, you show your vulnerability, you show your talents, you go out basically, and things start changing and shifting for you, and maybe you becoming more active and more kind of interactive with others. Maybe you talk more about yourself, you share about yourself. What else do we have? In order to receive fullness and happiness, you may need to look within and see if you can be forgiven. Find what you can change, and when you are ready to catch your happiness, and when you are ready to catch your happiness, then go after it. Learn to appreciate your inner self, enjoy life on your own terms, and you will attract love. That's cool too. Is that a web on his foot or swift wind? It's like swift wind. It's basically like he's running fast. So it's not a web, it's more like, like just I think Chris Ann was trying to show that this is like very quick. So the situation can change very quick, right? And what I can do is maybe don't do too much for now. The things will kind of shift. After being still and patient, you are ready to receive new love. Go after it and do not be too passive. Exactly. Enjoy the present moment. Where am I? Oh no, I lost it already. Okay, so I'm just going to 10 minutes left. Melanie is telling me, but we are really good on time, guys. First time in my life, I didn't over prepare. I really just, so this is another form of exercises that you can play with, and you can do it for yourself. You can try with, just read for yourself like this. You can try playing and answering different questions, but for the same cards, just to practice your ability to focus and be specific. And so here we had the question about love. How about work? What should I do to attract better work for myself? How can I earn more money, and whatever, and you can use the same set of cards to practice this for yourself. And it really is important, I think, especially when you're learning, to write down your initial ideas, because often you forget, you kind of have this intuitive hit, and then it's only usually a moment, and then you kind of, your brain starts kicking in, and your conscious mind starts kicking the memories, what the image is associated with, and then you kind of analyzing and interpreting more. But the intuitive hit 2 hours each. So on Sunday we catch up on the 7th for 2 hours, and on the 14th for 2 hours. and it will be very practical and very interactive with a lot of exercises. There will be some meditations too, and there will be tarot and chakra segment as well, and chakras, how to see tarot as a chakra, kind of connecting it to the chakra system as well, because I think that's really cool, and sometimes it very much helps the readings. You know, when I read for clients, it really helps a lot to use also chakras. For me, it works well. So, oh, you lost me, cool. When I was advertising myself, YouTube tuned me out. Oh, no. That's okay. That's okay, guys. You can, thank you everyone for being here. I still have 7 minutes before the next talk starts. The next talk will be by amazing Christine and Celeste. And I linked her talk in my description box, so you can take a look. Artistry of Tarot. She's talking about her workshop, which I already registered for because I'm quick like that. I was laughing that I'm like advertising myself and YouTube fucking like cuts me out and freezes me. That's not nice, YouTube. But anyway, guys, all the details are in the description box. Thank you so much for participating, and I hope you had fun. Yeah, the intuitive readings are really awesome, and I think that's something that will take your traditional tarot readings to next level. But do not skip the traditional meanings. They're important, they're lovely, they're beautiful, they expand us, you know, they're amazing. So yeah, next talk, I don't know if you guys heard or not, but next talk is by Christine and Celeste. The link is in the description box. The link to sign up for my workshop is in the description box. All the information is on my website if you're interested. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do, because that's mostly where I share these days. And yeah, thanks everyone for the beautiful messages. I will rewatch it, reread the chat later on. If I missed any questions, I will answer them for sure. And we have still 6 minutes left. What shall we do? What shall we do? Do you guys wanna? Oh, I can take questions, Simon says. Okay, perfect. Do you guys have any questions? I can take them now. We have 5 minutes. I can also tell you guys that my mom came out of hospital, which is so cool. And she came out on Friday, 2 days ago. So she's back home. And it's really nice to have her back after 3 months. She was in hospital for 3 months. Well, okay, there's a question. What first brought you to tarot? Oh, good question. It was a long time ago, and I was living in Germany. I took a year off my university. I studied German at uni, and I went to be an au pair in Germany, in Cologne, to, like, you know, practice German and learn more. And I just lived in communist country for most of my life before that. You know, the system only changed when I went to high school, so 4 years before my university, so maybe like 7 years before I went to Germany, and it was still pretty new. And I went to the bookshops there, and they had everything in those bookshops. And, you know, in communist Poland, you had a lot of books, but nothing too colorful and beautiful. So I went to the bookshops, and I saw tarot, and somehow I was always open to this, like, natural medicine, and I heard about tarot before. And that's what brought me there, like, just those bookshops and tarot on shelves. And I had innate or instant attraction to it, and I never was really probably too scared of tarot. I don't know why, but just never scared me. So my favorite intuitive tarot decks, oh my god, that's a good one. I have 4 minutes to go. Wait for it, guys. So I love this one for intuitive readings. It's Kathleen Dayo's Source Energy Art. And by the way, you can do intuitive readings with any deck, you know, like, it's just really any deck. I have reviews of most of the decks I show you. So this is, again, Source Energy Tarot by Kathleen Dayo, and Source Energy Art Tarot. and she is an intuitive energy painter. I should have thought of it. Thanks, Yvette. I was thinking about showing some decks. So somehow it's based on Rider-Waite-Smith, but somehow it just gives another, layer of intuitive reading. So with Page of Swords, usually, you have this page as being something open, right? Like about learning something new. But here also he's like chasing away those like scary thoughts, like doubt and, fear, or maybe something like this. So it's really interesting deck. I love using this deck, and it has quite a few different elements and layers on the cards. The cards are huge, by the way, but it's not very expensive. So I don't know how people do it. Some people can print a deck like this, huge and quite nice paper, everything perfect, and it's quite cheap. And then some other ones are like really small and really expensive. And you go, why? And then another one, which is Oracle deck, and perfect for intuitive readings too, because this one is pure intuition. You go for, what does it make me feel like? It hits you. And then the book is really amazing. These are just the intuitive gates of initiation, but the book is amazing, and you always get a guide that can help you cross to another gate of initiation. And these images are really amazing. And this is Oracle of Initiation by Melissa Lucia. It's really amazing. But you guys can share in the comments what tarot decks you find, intuitive and really kind of interesting or good for intuitive readings. And I'm going to take a look there. Anyway, now we're running to the end. Oh, Kasia ordered on 2nd of April. I know, Kasia, I'm waiting for parcels from the US for like forever. It's been really 2 months for parcels from the US to get to Europe, at least to Poland. I think UK works pretty good, but soul cards are great. Oh, I love soul cards, true. Yeah, cool. All right, guys, so thank you so much. Please head over to Christine's channel. Thank you, Simon. Thank you so much for organizing it again. Great undertaking, really well done. And yeah, thanks for gathering all of us together again for the 3rd year in a row, and see you next year. And let's head over to Christine's now. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It was lovely to hang out. Bye.